25-6 for 240.
Make 2050 Miami Center, roger.
Miami Center, King Air 559 Delta Whiskey, bearing 90,000 behind 310.
559 Delta Whiskey, Miami Center, roger. Climb maintain 14,000. Air 559 Delta Whiskey, Miami Center, roger. Climb and maintain 14,000. Air 6064 Papa, contact Miami Center 133.5.
335, you have a good day.
Air 44 Quebec, descend and maintain 4,000.
Miami Center, King Air 559 Delta Whiskey.
Air 559 Delta Whiskey, Miami Center, here's you loud and clear, how me?
I got declared emergency. My pilot's unconscious. I need help up here.
Air 559 Delta Whiskey, roger, and send my one. Fort Myers approach, Fort Myers low 724 line.
Fort Myers approach, Fort Myers low.
Fort Myers approach, Fort Myers low 724 line, emergency.
All right.
559 Delta Whiskey has an unconscious pilot. He needs help. Do you want me to put him back on you?
Need help?
Where's he going?
He's just stand by. Air 559 Delta Whiskey, say your intentions.
I need to get this thing on the ground. I'm flying the King Air.
Air 559 Delta Whiskey, I understand. Are you a pilot? The pilot unconscious.
My pilot's deceased. I'm a single engine pilot, low time.
Miami 49.
I need help. I need a King Air pilot to talk to.
All right, all aircraft stand by. Air 559 Delta Whiskey. And are you at the cockpit now?
I am co-pilot C. Get him out.
Air 9 Delta Whiskey, understand you are able to fly an aircraft?
Single engine. I need to get off this. I'm going through 11,000. I need to get level.
Air 9 Delta Whiskey, go ahead and level off at 1,000.
I want to do that with unset this autopilot.
Air 9 Delta Whiskey, roger. 0461, contact Miami approach 133.77.
3377, 0461.
American 2234, contact Miami approach 120.5.
20.5, American 2234.
Vonto 108, descend and maintain 8,000, next flight down.
Hurry down to 8,000, Vonto 108.
Eagle,
Air 9 Delta Whiskey, are you able to maintain 12,000?
Well, do I turn off the altimeter or not? It's steady climbing, and but it looks to me like my altitude descent is on 10,000. I don't know why I keep going climbing. Figure out how to level off.
And November 9 Delta Whiskey, okay, and you think the autopilot is on?
I know it's on.
And or 9 Delta Whiskey, yeah, right. Can you tell what altitude it says it's going to climb to?
The altitude said is 10,000, but I'm going through 13 now. It should have leveled off at 10, so how do I stop that is what I want
to know. Citrus 86, descend and maintain 11,000.
11,000, Citrus 86.
458 Hotel Charlie, contact Miami Center 127.2.
472, Hotel Charlie. Center after 445, kilo 10,000, heading 270.
American 2050, cross Scott, maintain 10,000 at 250 knots.
Scott 10,000, here,
559 Delta Whiskey only, and understand, so we're trying to find some help out here, and you're still on a climb?
Still climbing through 14,000. I can turn my altitude set to 15. Maybe that'll stop it.
You said it's set at 15,000?
It's set at 10,000, 10,000, but it went through that. So I need to, if I set it to 16,000, will it level off or not under altitude set? 9 Delta Whiskey.
All right, November 9 Delta Whiskey. Okay, I understand you're going to be leveling off at 15,000. Is that what you're showing on the autopilot?
No, autopilot, once again, says 10,000. I've already busted 10,000. I'm steady climbing. I need to stop the climb. Stay with me, Miami. Let's go.
559 Delta Whiskey. I'm here. Don't worry. We're trying to find the solution to that. Stand by.
For me on the 50.
Okay, number 5 Delta Whiskey. When you look at the center console there, you don't see anything with the... You see the autopilot's unable to disengage?
I don't know. I know where the autopilot switch is down there. It's on engaged right now. I can engage it if you disengage it. That's fine.
Number 5 Delta Whiskey. Disengage the autopilot. We're gonna have you hand fly the plane.
All right. Do you want me to disengage the autopilot?
Number 5 Delta Whiskey. Affirmative. Disengage the autopilot.
All right. Disengaging the autopilot. I need to pull back on the throttle some. Correct?
Number 5 Delta Whiskey. Native, you can hold the yoke. You got are you holding the yoke now level?
Yeah, I can disengage the autopilot right now.
Okay, hold the yoke level, disengage the autopilot.
Say again?
Hold the yoke level and disengage the autopilot, number 5 Delta Whiskey.
I disengaged it. I'm flying the airplane by hand.
Okay, number 5 Delta Whiskey in here. Can you try my showing you now at 17,000.
After 55, kilos, level 10,000, heading 270.
American 17 on a contact bomb, approach 120.5.
You find me the longest, widest runway you can, ma'am.
Number 5 Delta Whiskey, roger. I'm going to try to keep you hold the plane level. You're doing pretty good, 17,200. Try to hold the plane now at 17,000.
All right, 17.3 right now.
Number 5 Delta Whiskey, roger.
445 Alpha Kilo, level 10,000, heading 270.
Citrus 304, contact Miami approach 133.77.
2377, 304.
Air 44, Quebec, contact Fort Myers approach 119.75.
119.75, 44 Quebec.
Vontae 108, contact Miami approach 120.5.
All right, I got the engine torque on 1900 on the engine. 456, 240.
American 2050, Miami approach 120.5.
2045, American 2050, good day.
686, altitude descending to.
All right, number 5 Delta Whiskey. We're going to start a slow, shallow descent. Just easy down on the yoke. A slight descent. We're going to get you down to 11,000.
11,000.
11,000. Do you want me to change the power setting on the throttle? Whiskey.
Number 9 Delta Whiskey, affirmative. Pull back slightly on the throttle and just ease over the yoke gently.
All right.
We're going to take a nice shallow descent. Whatever you're comfortable with, we'll just try to make a nice shallow 500 feet per minute descent.
What's the rate of descent for 9 Delta Whiskey?
Number 9 Delta Whiskey, whatever you're comfortable with, we're going to try just start at like a 500 feet per minute. If it goes more, that's fine. We're just trying to make it a nice, easy descent for you down to 1,000.
I got it 1,000 feet per second.
Number 5 Delta Whiskey, that's fantastic.
9 Delta Whiskey, straight ahead on the heading of, about 353. 456 is at 240.
Center Astra 445 Alpha Kilo.
Center 86, Miami.
Miami is 145 Alpha Kilo. We're heading 270, 10,000.
American 456 needs lower.
Center 86, contact Miami approach 133.77.
Bye, y'all. Good luck.
3377, will do.
American 456, flying 180.
Heading 180, American 456.
You want to show me Astra 445 Alpha Kilo.
Alpha Kilo, stand by.
I'm going to...
American 456, flying 180, contact Miami Center 132.2.
Thank you. 322, good day.
Air 5 Alpha Kilo, climbing tip over 400.
Up to 400, can we get direct volunteer?
Air 5 Alpha Kilo, got emergency going on. Stand by 1 and contact Miami Center 133.9er.
1339, up to 400, 445 Alpha Kilo.
Okay, number 5 Delta Whiskey, you doing all right there, descending?
Oh, we're having a hoot, 9 Delta Whiskey at 16,000, 1,000 foot per minute descent, 9 Delta Whiskey.
Okay, number 9 Delta Whiskey, just so you know what we're doing here, we're going to get you down to 1,000. We're going to make you give you a turn to the west. We're going to hand you off to Fort Myers Approach, and they've got some controllers there that also have pilot experience, and they're going to talk you all the way in down to the landing there. Do you have any experience in a King Air?
Negative.
All right, number 5 Delta Whiskey, you're doing a real good job. Just keep you doing a very good holding your heading, a real nice descent there.
You got me heading almost due north.
Number 5 Delta Whiskey, affirmative. I just didn't want to turn you while you're descending. If you're comfortable with that, I'll give you a turn out to the west while you're descending. That's up to you. Would you like to continue straight during the descent or make a turn with the descent?
I can make a turn with the descent. I don't need any weather up here right now either, ma'am.
Okay, I'm not showing any weather on my radar here, but I only show precipitation. But let me just make sure I confirm what you said. You said you'd like to make a turn to the left while you're descending?
I can do that.
Okay, number 5 Delta Whiskey, just a nice, easy turn to the left, whatever you're comfortable, real shallow, real gentle on the controls. You're going to turn left, fly a heading of about a 270 heading, and continue that descent down to 11,000, whatever you're comfortable with.
Left 270 down to 11,000, King Air 9 Delta Whiskey.
Number 9 Delta Whiskey, affirmative. Nice job, real smooth.
215.
And number 5 Delta Whiskey, just to put your mind at ease, there's good weather at Fort Myers. There's no weather, it's VFR. Okay, number 5 Delta Whiskey. Just so you know the plan, we're going to bring you around to Fort Myers. They've got the longer runway, and we're going to get you the most available runway for your landing. You're going to do fine.
9 Delta Whiskey.
All right, number 9 Delta Whiskey, you got any questions about what you're doing right now? Are you okay?
Yeah, we're great. 9 Delta Whiskey, thank you.
Okay, number 5 Delta Whiskey, real nice job in that turn there, and you're going to be talking to Fort Myers approach here in just a minute. Like I said, they're going to take their time and talk to you and get you down safe.
What's that frequency going to be?
Number 5 Delta Whiskey, it will be 132.07.
Let me see if I can find it without screwing this up.
Okay, well, if you want, why don't we wait until you're level there and turn down on a heading, and then you can try to tune in that frequency.
132 what?
It'll be 132.07 for November 5 Delta Whiskey.
13207, 9 Delta Whiskey.
And like I said, number 9 Delta Whiskey, just concentrate on flying the plane real, looks like you're just about established on that heading. Now you're approaching that 11,000. As you get to about 11,500, you want to start easing up just a little bit on that yoke to level off that plane. Don't worry if you go through the altitudes or anything, but in about 500 feet, just start kind of leveling off that yoke just a little bit, easing back, and apply just a touch of the throttle.
Can I set this altitude set at 11,000 and turn the autopilot back on?
Number 5 Delta Whiskey, if you would like, if that makes you more comfortable, you can do that.
I can't do it. It messes up my heading.
Now, 5 Delta Whiskey, Roger. It's probably there's a little bug for the heading that you can twist over to get established with the autopilot. But why don't we? You're doing such a good job here, hand flying. Why don't we keep you on that heading? You're doing well, and we'll level. It looks like you're just about level at 11,000 there, holding it well. And now, if you can, it's going to be 132.07.
Would I push tune to change that frequency?
If you do have it set up in the second radio, sir?
I do.
Yep, you would switch to. So what I'm going to do, number 5 Delta Whiskey, is contact Fort Myers approach 132.07 by pushing 2. If you do not get them, just switch it again, and you'll be talking to me.
Thanks.
Number 5 Delta Whiskey, Roger.
All 5 Delta Whiskey, 5 Delta Whiskey, 5 Delta Whiskey. 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 5 Delta Whiskey, 5
Norm 850.
Family.
Request control for D6.
Fort Myers, Fort Myers.
King Air 559er Delta Whiskey, Fort Myers approach, John.
Fort Myers approach, Fort Myers low 724 line with a question.
Fort Myers Center, King Air 559er Delta Whiskey.
King Air 559er Delta Whiskey, Fort Myers approach. And are you in a descent right now, sir?
I am. What you want me to do with it? Hold it or what?
Actually, if you can, we can just start a descent down to 5,000, and we're getting some help from another pilot that's familiar with the airplane. We'll get you some information. Can you descend the airplane?
I can, down to 5,000 on heading 270. This is a King Air 200.
King Air 9er Delta Whiskey, Roger. We're passing that information now. If you're able, fly heading 240 and descend and maintain 5,000. Just take your time. We'll set you up for the airport.
Yeah, I did. All right, 240 to 5,000, 9er Delta Whiskey.
And November 9er Delta Whiskey, are you using the autopilot or are you flying the airplane?
I'm in the good Lord's hand flying this 9er Delta Whiskey.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Nine Delta Whiskey, are you a licensed pilot?
No time, single engine land, 9er Delta Whiskey.
Okay, very good. King Air 9 Delta Whiskey, when you're ready, turn a left heading 180. We'll start working you towards the airport. Whenever you're ready to turn, fly heading 180.
180 to 5,000 for 9er Delta Whiskey. I need to slow my descent down. That's 2,500 feet per minute here. I need to get my throttle set for this descent. I don't know where to set it at.
Okay, sir, we'll get some information. If you just retard it just a little bit, and I'll get you an answer on that. And if you want to stop the descent, that's fine, too.
I got buzzers going off here, gear control or something, I don't know.
Okay, sir, in that case, just level off when you're comfortable, and I'll get you an answer on that in just a moment. And west page. 9 Delta Whiskey, the information I have is to pre-select the autopilot to 5,000, but don't turn it on yet. You can go to the center console on the instrument panel and pre-select 5,000 feet, but don't engage it yet, and I'll get you information on how to do that.
I got a pre-altitude set of 5,000. I know how to engage it, but I got to get rid of the heading bug that's hooked to the autopilot.
Okay, let me get that request in.
I can push altitude select on the console.
Okay, I'm passing that information. Nine Delta Whiskey, they're telling me you can slew the heading bug. Do you know how to do that?
No.
Okay, no problem.
I'm 150 knots. I need to keep from stalling this airplane. I'm just going through a little descent here.
Okay, sir, just advance the throttles, and your altitude's good, so I guess just pick up the speed with the throttles and try to hold 5,000 feet. Yeah, it looks like you're coming up on 5,000 feet. That looks pretty good. Just a little bit slow on the ground speed, 140 knots ground speed. Nine Delta Whiskey, when you can, turn left and fly heading 180 when you're able.
That's 180, 9 Delta Whiskey.
Yeah, it looks like your speed's picking up now. That looks good. And 9 Delta Whiskey, the information I'm getting now is to leave the props and the power where it's at and just fly like you normally would a single engine for now.
All right, 9 Delta Whiskey.
You got any alarms or warnings going off?
Oh, just heavy trim.
Okay, heavy trim. Okay, I'll pass that on. And 9 Delta Whiskey, how many souls on board?
I'm sorry. 5.
5? Okay, thank you.
Are you showing me in a turn? I'm not moving very good here.
No, sir. It still looks like you're southwestbound, and no turn yet. The altitude and speed look good, but you're still southwestbound.
Yeah, turn left to left. Okay, hold on.
Now they're telling me the trim control is on the yoke, and it's on the left-hand side of the yoke where the thumb would be, on the upper left-hand side of the yoke for trim.
Understand.
That might help you keep from the yoke forces.
210 on the heading now.
Okay, very good, sir. Keep it coming around when you can. We'll make it 140 on the heading, 140 on the heading. Okay. And 9 Delta Whiskey, just want to verify you do have the autopilot off.
I got the 2 black buttons on disengaged, which is down on the console.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Yeah, the turn looks good. Very good, sir. And 9 Delta Whiskey on the instrument panel. Is there a landing checklist?
No, I'm not worried with that right now. I'm heading 140 at 6,000 right now. I can put the gear down in the flaps.
Okay, they're telling me you're a little too fast for the gears, so hold on just a moment on the gear, and I'll call you back in just a minute. We got plenty of room before we get you to the airport. This will be a landing runway 6 at Fort Myers International, and hold the gear for just a moment.
Oh, I was going to. I'm just telling you, I know where the gear control is. 9 Delta Whiskey.
Okay, that's good. That's good information. Do you know where the flap control handle is?
I do. I don't know what setting to put them on.
Okay, I'll get you that information in just a moment then.
You bring me in on left base for 6, I assume?
9 Delta Whiskey, that's correct, and we'll get you more information in just a moment. So you're on a left base for 6. You're still a good 25 miles out. We got plenty of time. And you've only been airborne about a half hour, is that correct?
Yeah, we got plenty of fuel.
Okay, very good. King Air 9 Delta Whiskey, I'm told below 160 knots you're able to lower the gear and the flaps, either one, but it'll be 160 knots will be the speed for that.
Yeah, a little premature for that. What do you want me to do when I get to 5,000 there?
When you get to 5,000, we'll start a slow descent to 3,000, and I'll have another turn for you, and I'll turn you right towards the airport, probably about 10 miles.
You got a light blinking on the pilot's panel that says AP disc. What's that mean? AP disconnect or something?
Hey, we're getting that information right now. They're listening to you.
Delta Whiskey 4700 for 3.
9 Delta Whiskey, Roger. It looks pretty good. Turn left, heading 090.
090, 9 Delta Whiskey.
Nine Delta Whiskey, more information for you about the throttles. Just operate them like you normally would in a single engine. They said the turbine will respond to it pretty similarly. So just as far as power and airspeed, you can just operate it like a normal throttle. King Air 9 Delta Whiskey, fly heading 070, vector to the airport.
070, 9 Delta Whiskey. $3,800, 9 Delta Whiskey, 220 knots indicated.
9 Delta Whiskey, Roger. When you get to 3,000, just retard the throttles a little bit at a time. We'll get your speed slowed down so we can get the gear down, and I got more information for you in just a moment.
9 Delta Whiskey.
Yeah, 9 Delta Whiskey, it'll be runway 6. It's a 12,000-foot runway, so you're going to have plenty of runway to work with. And we got equipment standing by, and it's all yours.
What's the wind?
Currently, it's 020 at 4 knots.
9 Delta Whiskey. Now, when I recharge these throttles here in a minute, I need to know what's indicated to go to.
9 Delta Whiskey, Roger. We'll just retard them slowly. You can start now at your discretion, a little bit at a time. And when you get to 150 knots, I'm told you can drop the gear and the flaps.
Yeah, I understand that. I just want to know where to get it to.
Oh, I'm not sure what the setting will be, but just to retard them a little bit at a time and to get and just watch the airspeed indicator because you're looking for 160 knots or slower. Now in short final, they're telling me no slower than 110 knots, but I'll confirm that in just a moment. 9 Delta Whiskey, fly heading 060, and that'll put you right on the final. You're about 18 miles out.
060, 9 Delta Whiskey.
Nine Delta Whiskey, when you get the speed under control at your discretion, maintain 2,000. There's no hurry for that, but when you're ready, 2,000.
What is speed under discretion indicated?
If we're looking for 160 knots indicated, you can start the gear down. Right now I'm showing your ground speed right at 160 knots.
I think I see a runway at 12 o'clock and about 7-8 miles, 9 Delta Whiskey.
9 Delta Whiskey, that's correct. You're looking at the right runway. That's runway 6 at International, and you're about a 15-mile final now. So have you got the gear going down yet, sir?
Negative. I'm descending. I need to get down to 2,000 and get my speed down, 9 Delta Whiskey.
Nine Delta Whiskey, the last instruction I got, when you get to 150 knots, the flap control will say approach flaps on there. Just select that detent when you get to 150 knots.
Is that going to be the first notch, 9 Delta Whiskey?
And I'm confirming that right now. That's correct, sir, the very first notch.
2,800, 9 Delta Whiskey, 165 indicated.
Sounds good. You're right on the money. You're lined up for the runway. So altitude, your discretion. You can proceed visually, and just let me know when you have the gear and the flaps down.
All right, gear going down. I got 3 greens indicated. Tell me the final approach speed, 9 Delta Whiskey.
9 Delta Whiskey, I have it for you in just a moment. The lineup is good. We'll get the approach speed in just a second. Hey, your speed's good right now, and no slower than present speed, and I'll call you back with the final approach speed.
Got 140 indicated, and I got a blinking caution light that says master caution, faster reset. What is that? Caution.
9 Delta Whiskey, I'll get you an answer in just a moment. No slower than your present speed. That should be good right there.
2100 indicated.
Very good. And 9 Delta Whiskey, you are cleared to cleared to land runway 6.
Appreciate it. Cleared to land runway 6, 9 Delta Whiskey. I need to talk to me about some flaps. When do I hit approach speed?
Okay, you can set you do have the flaps in the first detent right now, sir?
Negative. What airspeed can I drop the approach flaps indication?
You can do it right now, sir. You got the correct speed now.
First notch down, the flaps, 9 Delta Whiskey. When I touch down, if I ever touch down, do I just kill the throttle or what?
That's correct. When you touch down, slowly kill the throttle.
I got 155 indicated, 2,000 feet descending.
9 Delta Whiskey, roger. And just a little bit fast on the airspeed. Just slow down just a little bit.
Roger, 9 Delta Whiskey. 150, 1,800 altitude.
For 9 Delta Whiskey, roger.
What's approach speed, final approach speed again to the threshold?
I'll have it for you in just a moment, sir. Your present speed's good. I'll have a final approach speed in just a second. And 9 Delta Whiskey, make your final approach speed 120 knots indicated. You've got time for that, though. You're still 6 miles out, but 120 knots will be your final approach speed.
120, 9 Delta Whiskey through 1,400. Got 140 indicated. Got dead pilots inside me.
9 Delta Whiskey, I believe you got one more detent left on the flaps, so when you get to 120, it'll be full flaps at 120, and then at that point, no slower than 110.
Full flaps at 120, no slower than 110, 9 Delta Whiskey.
9 Delta Whiskey, more information for you. It's just easy with the power as you get close to the runway to keep the nose up, keep the power on it, but easy in and out with the power. They're very responsive, so you'll get a lot of response out of it. And 9 Delta Whiskey, you don't have to respond. More information, once you make it onto the ground, just center line with the rudder pedals, you kill the throttle and maximum braking.
Got it, 9 Delta Whiskey.
And ground speed looks good.
I keep this pilot off the control.
You have plenty of runway, sir, so if you got to add a lot of power to make the threshold, that's fine. You got 12,000 feet of runway.
Myers, East Coast, LaBelle, 529, info. Full flaps, 9 Delta Whiskey, 120 indicated.
9 Delta Whiskey, Roger. It looks good from here. Good job.
It ain't over till it's over, friend. Wind check again.
340 at 3 knots. It's almost calm.
That's the way you want powered.
9 Delta Whiskey, the runway's all yours. You can turn left or right, whatever's easier for you. Power all the way back, and they're telling me max braking.
For now, buddy, thank you. 9 Delta Whiskey.
Nine Delta Whiskey, when you're ready, you can go to ground frequency 121.9. Nice work.
121.9, thank you.